Hey guys, it's Mike again, your host of Craft Beer Storm, also founder owner brewer at Beara Brewing Company in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Continuing our journey at the Craft Beer Brewers Conference. Met a lot more people, a lot of good companies. Part 3 coming your way now. So here we go. So I'm here with my paisanos. It's Simone. He's from the Simone Bellassi.
Bellasai, yeah.
Bellasai,
Right.
very good. So we came across BeerLab,
Yeah.
and I see that you have an analyzer here. You analyze beer,
Yeah.
which is very interesting, which a lot of brewers probably need.
Yeah.
So tell me about BeerLab.
Okay, the BeerLab is a system composed by an analyzer and different kind of reagents. Okay, and the reagents come in pre-filled cuvettes. They are ready to use. The system is very simple, so everyone can run analysis with this analyzer.
So like what is there? Pre-made?
We sell pre-filled cuvettes. So we are the manufacturer of the entire system, analyzer and reagents as well. So with the cuvettes, the brewmaster can run all the analysis he wants in order to have an in-house quality control.
Quality control is very important in beer because you want beer to remain the same.
So they can check the entire process from the wort to the finished product.
Through fermentation into
the fermentation, of course, meshing and fermentation after and till the finished product.
Now these are the cuvettes here, I think.
No, these are. These are just for the cuvettes are. I don't have an example.
It's
here.
okay.
Anyway.
But you have an analyzer here, I see.
Yeah, of course.
You just insert them into the analyzer, and it tells you like what kind of information can you get out of it.
Yeah, of course we can run, as I told you, the entire quality control of the beer. So we can run fermentable sugars in beer and wort, bitterness, lactic acid, alcohol by volume, VDKs, polyphenols, and yeast vitality. That actually is a new test we have recently developed, with also the polyphenols and alkalinity in water, also fan in beer and wort. That is a very important analysis, and of course we run different kind of analysis in water as well. So calcium, magnesium, bicarbonates, sulfates. So practically a brewmaster can check everything he needs to have to improve the quality of the product.
It's very important to keep tabs on these criteria because a beer can go very wrong quickly, like if you get bacteria introduced into it or if you don't hit your ABV.
Yeah.
But this is great.
Yeah, a very important thing we have to say is that the brewmaster has the results in real time, so he can make
adjustments.
Adjustment decisions, and he doesn't wait for weeks sometimes for the results or days for the results, sending results to the laboratories.
Right, it's right here, and I think everything is trending that way, so it's awesome.
As I told you, it's very, very easy, so you don't need to be a chemist to use this. It's an analyzer is a system for everyone.
Right, great. It's very easy to use, it's just touch screen.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think it'll help a lot of people.
Yeah.
And what kind of clients do you have? You have a lot of clients.
As I told you, we have customers from the very small brewery to the big corporation. So,
Heineken, I think you were
or other big companies, of course. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. Ciao.
Ciao.
Hey, and I came across a famous name, 3M. I'm here with Craig Koch. How you doing, Craig?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you enjoying the conference?
It's been a great conference so far.
A lot of awesome people here, huh?
Oh, yes. And I was able to walk around and meet a lot of people, and they've been coming to the booth as well.
It's tremendous, yeah. So what do you? I see like Liquiflux filtration models. What do you do for brewers of the brewing industry?
Well, we have 3 different divisions here. One division, 3 different types of products. One is standard mechanical filtration with our high flow, which is 70 micron cartridge filter type filtration. Liquiflux, which is ultrafiltration, mainly used for wastewater, for them to reuse the wastewater. And
That's awesome.
And then we have membrane degasification, which allows us to remove oxygen and CO2 from water and beer, and also put CO2 and nitrogen into beer.
That's awesome. So it's multi-purpose, yeah. Because water is very... it's great if you can figure out what to do with water, right? Because a lot of breweries flush water through either to cool a liquid, or there's beer that comes out and it's hazy and then it needs to be clarified. And I guess that's what some of the things you do. But also in terms of, there's a lot of gases that are involved in beer too, CO2, oxygen.
Yeah, so one of the main advantages 3M has is, of course, we don't build systems, but we provide the components. So we can filter the beer and get rid of the yeast. We can then deoxygenate it or add CO2 to it. Then we can also clarify it and make it clear using our beverage modules. And then before it goes down the drain, we can filter it so they can reuse the wastewater for cleaning purposes and things of that.
Yeah, that's huge. If you can
savings.
figure out, yeah. So a lot of breweries have all that hot water, and some of them just flush it down the drain, where you can reuse it, and then use it to clean tanks.
Yes, and it's going through Liquiflux on the wastewater side. It's cleaner than city water.
Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah, I saw the 3M sign. I said I got to come over because they're doing a lot of awesome things. So that's cool. How's your response so far?
It's been really, really good. So I've got a number of customers that have been here and stopped by. They were glad I showed up, or 3M showed up, and we picked up a lot of new business. So
this is a great conference. It's like really serious people in the brewing industry that are trying to sell products, and just because it's a business, right? It's not just like, hey, let's add powder to water and make beer, and there's just so much.
Yeah.
And filtration is just one aspect of it, which is a very important aspect.
Correct. Yeah, it is, and that's what's nice about this conference. It's not the home brew in your garage. These people are serious, and it's big business for them, and they want to do it right, which is why they keep stopping by the booth.
And quality control, and you assist in that, in getting really good beer out. That's awesome.
Yeah, and of course the nice offering that 3M has also is we can go from 1 gallon per minute up to 500 gallons per minute on our membrane degasification modules. So I can do the small microbreweries all the way up to Anheuser-Busch and places like that.
Wow, it's a lot of liquid. Wow.
A lot of liquid, yeah.
All right, well, I appreciate your time, Craig, and I wish you the best of the show.
Thank you.
Hey, we're at the Cargill location, and we have Joe Korowski from White Labs, Jeremy Janis from Cargill, and then we got Jay Prowl from Hopsteiner. So we got all three here. We got yeast, grain, and we got hops. And they did a collaboration, actually, for the show, which is awesome. So how are you guys doing?
Doing good. Doing great. Awesome. No complaints.
Awesome. So tell me more about the collaboration you did for the show.
Well, we actually are all, raw ingredient providers for the craft brewers, and we hooked up with a bunch of breweries to make beers for the show.
And everybody contributed their own. Like, what kind of strain of yeast did you, or was it multiple strains?
So multiple strains of the yeast to fit the style of the beer. So we kind of all put our heads together to provide a recipe for these brewers.
Because, like, I'm drinking a quad here, right?
Yeah, you're drinking a quad, and that quad has WLP 530 in it. It's our Abbey Ale yeast.
Right.
So it makes a good quad.
Very nice. And then you provide, I guess, different types of malt for the...
Yep, we provided Dingemans, which is part of our Belgian line, and that we're basically trying to fit that quad bill and do a bunch of different beers that fit the different suppliers that we have on the grain side as well. So that was a 11% quad that we brewed.
Is that what this is?
Yep.
11%?
Yeah.
Yikes.
But it drinks like 8.
Yeah.
It's very
doesn't
smooth.
drink that strong.
Man. And then you provided the hops for them.
Yeah, a bunch of our Hopsteiner hops, some of them North American, some of them European, and quite a few of them were from our breeding program and are still only numbered varieties. They don't have a name yet.
They don't have a name, they're just a number.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's cool. It's delicious.
Very new varieties. And
That's
then
awesome.
some of them are varieties out of our program that have gotten names. They were numbers a few years ago, but now they're new hops in the marketplace.
That's usually what happens. Hops start with a number, and then they give them a name, and then they trademark it, and also it's all good. Yeah. So, how are you enjoying this show? I guess this is your first show.
It's
No,
a good
You've
show. I've been to 5 of these things,
been 5.
so yeah, not too bad.
Well, it's an awesome place where everybody can get together. And
It's
the
easy
three
to
you
get
got
my
together.
10,000 steps in. It's easy to get my 10,000 steps in.
You have one of those things you put on your
No,
wrist.
it's just an iPhone.
Oh, I have that app too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should probably look at how many steps I've been all over the place. How many miles, right? I'm trying to train for a marathon, so I'm just like, yeah, I got my miles in. So that's awesome. All right, cool. And you're the king, but what's the king come from? I don't know. Jeremy.
Well, I'm based out of Denver, and our Midwest rep thought it would be funny to pull. We actually don't know where this.
I don't know where they got
sign
them either.
came from.
I got the glass half empty. Probably because I drank the first half.
I just lost mine.
You're just an exhibitor, yeah. You lost yours.
I had a clever thing below, but it fell
right.
off, and I didn't notice.
All right, well,
So
cool. It's
I
great.
used to be clever is probably what I should say.
It's awesome that the three of you can get together and do this, and make
Absolutely.
great, excellent beer.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is what
We
craft
actually
is
went to
all
beer
about.
school together. And
Did you?
He worked at beer school when we were there.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So-
Which school is that? Where?
UC Davis. So,
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so Joe and I went to class together, and then Jay was our teacher. And Jay used to be the brewmaster at Sudworks, so he's much better suited to speak.
Oh,
on
man.
all that.
Yeah, this is my 25th CBC.
25th.
I'm not joking. Yeah. It's
Holy
disgusting that I'm that old. yeah.
That's awesome. I appreciate you guys taking the time out.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And turn the corner, and I'm here with Laura Worley. She's from Bird's Family Artisan Ale. She's also a certified Cicerone. How you doing, Laura?
Well, I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
And you agreed to do some sound bites, which is awesome.
Absolutely.
Everybody that I go to and I say, hey, let's do some sound bites, they're like shocked and like, oh my God, maybe somebody else should do it. I'm like, no, you should do it because you're awesome. And then they
Clearly
do
they
it, and
need
then
to
they're
drink more
comfortable, and
beer.
they're like, that was awesome. So what do you do at Burns Family Artisan? You have a lot of history, too, and a lot of experience in the industry.
Yeah, we do. So Burns Family Artisan Ales has been around for 7.5 months. I am the owner and partner and brewer and behind the taps, and I do janitor work and
I
paperwork.
do janitor. I'm a glorified janitor.
Yeah, I work with my husband Wayne Burns, and he has been brewing professionally for 26 years. He was trained at Siebel in Chicago and Domans in Germany, and so our specialty is doing high gravity beer that is over 10%, and we
Wow.
get pictures taken of us while we're doing podcasts because that's super awesome. Because the picture of what my voice sounds like is super cool. So our history defines what we do, but also we want to make sure that we are participants in the craft beer community. This is hilarious. There's also card exchanges going on. Because that's what we do
I'm
at Craft
traveling
Brewers
around.
Conference.
I'm just trying to meet people, and I saw Cargill. I'm like, Cargill's huge.
Yeah.
And I met you, which is awesome.
Yeah, no, awesome. And we're about using high quality stuff, and Cargill's got that for us. So
Now,
we
where
did a
are you
quad
based
that-
out of?
We are Southwest Denver. So we are part of the 80 plus breweries that have a Denver address. So definitely part of the growing, burgeoning craft scene here in Denver, the Napa Valley.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, Napa Valley of beer. And our beers run the gamut, and we're here because you can never stop learning. So all of the brewers and the industry folk and the sharing of information, the brewing industry is one of the most collaborative on
It is.
the
It's
planet.
fantastic, isn't
Yeah.
it? I mean, that's how I was attracted and drawn into it. I started my brewery in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and I just approached a lot of brewers, and they were just so inviting, and they were just telling me what to do and what to not to do. And then I expanded that into the BA world, the GABF, and just tremendous people. Now I come to CBC. I'm media. I have my podcast, so they gave me a media pass, and I'm like psyched.
Right?
I'm out here, and I'm just trying to, spread the word about great breweries and great people.
And it's so important, all of the people who are here, I mean, kudos to people who can make it. It's an expensive proposition, but this is one of the places that you can go and network, meet other people, and learn stuff. And we all learn from each other, whether we're 7 months old or 70 years old or older. But the craft beer community has exploded, and it's places like this where we can get together and talk and commiserate and drink beer together and talk about how quality makes a difference. So
It is. It's a wonderful area, and there's heavy hitters too here. I was just trying some hops out of some beer, and then I turned around. Oh, Left Hand Brewing. Do you work for them? Oh no, I'm the founder and the owner. Like, oh,
right? Yeah.
I'm like, I need 5 minutes of your time. We got to do some sound bites. He's like, yeah, sure.
Right.
So it was so cool.
Right.
Like people are so great.
Humble community.
Yeah.
Humble community of people who are passionate about what they do, but that is what a craftsperson is in whatever industry you're in. So, but the gathering, 13,000 brewers in one spot in Denver, and every year it changes about where we meet and what we're learning. And we're learning from people who have been afforded the opportunity to do really super in-depth work and lots of research from our large beer commercial brewing facilities, and that is something that we as very, very tiny craft brewers need to remember, that we all come from the same place. We're all learning from the same spot. And were it not for our big beer competitors, we wouldn't be getting the education that we're getting at a craft brewers conference like this. So,
beer is good.
Yeah.
And I interviewed John Kimmick at The Alchemist, and he's like, look, if you like beer, I like you.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Which I can't disagree with him. I
Yeah.
can't disagree. It'd be great to get people turned out to craft brew, because a lot of people don't know about craft beer.
Yeah.
Or breweries in their community, which is what I'm trying to do, just trying to expose people to that.
Yep.
But,
and that's one of the things that we're trying to do, is actually try to convert wine drinkers and people who like to collect things. Our beer is collectible. It's, at 10+%, largely you can cellar this stuff, and you start talking about it in the same type of terminology that you would use about wine, and it's way more interesting on your dinner table as pairing than wine is. It's far more matchable with so many different flavors.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to connect with chefs and try to do the food pairing. I'm trying to do some, actually in my area, I'm doing some a craft beer weekend where we get a chef in a hotel, and then we get some brewers in, and we do some food pairings.
Right.
And then bring them the next day. We'd bring them on a bus to different breweries and give them tours, and then do more food pairings. Because wine is taking all that up, but there's really complex beers out there that are really. These people work very hard to make these beer.
Absolutely, and it actually has a better range on the palate in terms of pairing than wine does.
You're a Cicerone, so you
yes.
know.
Well, I do. I'm also a chef and a brewer. So
you're a chef too.
Yeah, I started out as a chef and then got introduced to the brewing industry, so refined my tastes, became a certified Cicerone, opened my own brewery. Why not, right?
That's awesome.
I do, of course, have the advantage of having a brewer who's been in the industry for 26 years as
Fantastic.
my partner.
Now,
So,
do you serve
yeah.
food at your location?
We don't, but we do food pairings. So
That's great. So you go to
partnered
restaurants and do the...
Actually, we've partnered with local chefs, and we do food pairings at the brewery. We have done specialty pairings for pre-GABF. We will actually be pre-GABF this current year. So one of the advantages for being in the industry for a while.
I'm glad I met you, Laura. You're fantastic. Thank you very
so
much for your
Michael.
time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Hey, and we're here with John Sullivan, DMC, and also affiliated with Siemens. How you doing, John?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
All right, cool. How do you like this conference?
The conference is going great. Lots of good energy. We've seen lots of traction here on the trade show floor, and overall been really great.
That's great. So I see a bunch of screens on the wall, and I see that you worked with a bunch of breweries, or you have a lot of systems. What do you exactly offer to the brewer?
So, from the Siemens side, Siemens provides a lot of top quality equipment for automation. Everything from the control to the visualization, remote access, things like that. I'm here with DMC. We help Siemens develop what we call the brewing template, which is a 5 vessel brew house with fermentation, basically to help brewers who are looking into automating pieces and remote access and remote control, as well as just a lot better control, get a jump started on automating their house.
Just I mean, brewing is a very labor-intensive process if you don't have this equipment or the software or the knowledge that you have. It's a very, like, a lot of people think it's like add powder to water and all of a sudden there's beer. No, it's not like that. There's a huge process, and there's also temperature control and everything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that the biggest objection we get that's really interesting is that people feel that automating your brewery is taking the craft out of craft brewing. And, the thing I like to say is that the automation system doesn't know how to make a good beer. That's the job of the brewer and the brewery. The automation system just helps them make the same beer twice and helps them make the beer exactly how they want. Keeps them from, running up and down ladders, manual opening valves, worrying about making mistakes that, ultimately cost time, money, and are not necessarily as safe. So it's about making the brewing process easier for people and allowing them to do exactly what they want to do and do it well.
I think that makes a lot of sense because, you're a craft brewery, you have a smaller system, you can control it more. But when you get into 30-barrel, 60-barrel systems and you want the beer to taste the same as if you did your 5-barrel, you got to make sure all that stuff is hit, all that temperature, because you have a lot of fluid going through and a lot of grain, a lot of hops. So all that stuff has to be managed. Am I right? Or?
Yeah, I mean, all of that has to be managed, and you have to there's a lot of manual work, and as brewers get bigger, certainly the head brewer is doing less and less of that, and they want to make sure that beer is being made the way that they want it to be made as well, without necessarily having to be right next to the brew line. And this helps a lot with that. And, from the brewing template side, the smallest system we have that's gaining benefit is a 2-barrel system, right? Oh, wow. So it goes all the way from 2-barrel all the way up to, we've got 300-barrel systems that are running on this stuff too. So
the 2-barrel would be kind of a pilot system, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are doing kind of a pilot system, and they want something that's going to scale with them. And so this template really, again, it is everything that you kind of, it's not a product that you're, hey, buy this. It's something that you got to kind of mold to make sense for you. And you basically use it to do what you need to. So the 2-barrel system, it's just manual control, but they're not manually going around turning valves, doing. There's some automated
No, it's control. A pain in the ass manual. I do manual. I have a 7-barrel system, and I have farm equipment, and it makes good beer, but it kicks my ass. You go around doing manual, disconnecting hoses, connecting hoses, whereas I would love a screen where I could direct stuff, and clean stuff. Clean this stuff and then direct the fluid to here. That'd be fantastic, and that's kind of what your stuff does.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. All right, well, I appreciate your time, John. Thank you.
Yep, thank you so much.
Hey, now we're here at the Barth Haas group. They're specializing in hops, and I see Dr. Akis Trabukis. And I say we're probably paisanos because I'm Potorti, it's Greek. So, how you doing, Akis?
Hey, thanks for being here. As I said, I'm Akis. I'm working for the hops industry for 70 years right now. I'm based in Germany, and I'm here in the CBC to help my colleagues here in the States in order to present some new products that we have.
Because I was tasting the beers made with the hops that you're doing. I think you're extracting oils from the hops, and they're really delicious.
Yes, we have a very unique product launched this yesterday, actually. It's called Incognito, and this is a really extract variety specific. We use 3 different varieties, Mosaic, Citra, and Equinox. And we concentrate the oils, let's say, and it's a big help for the brewer to add them in the dry hopping process, reduce beer losses, be more effective. And
right. So anything more effective is great, because the dry hopping process means, okay, we have hops in the boil, and then if you put more hops in the boil, like in the beginning, it becomes more bitter, but if you add hops towards the end or dry hopping, after the boil's finished, after fermentation, and that creates a lot of the aroma and the taste.
Yes, exactly. This is the point for the dry hopping, that their beer flow or the beer absorbs all the oils of the hops. Right. And because these oils, they are specific characteristic of the hops, and they give really these aromas that we are, found in different IPAs, but also different styles of beers, right?
Really delicious. I like the Sabro. Is that the Sabro?
Yeah, the Sabro, thanks for saying that. The Sabro is beside the Incognito. It's a new variety. I mean, this will be the next Citra in terms of love of the brewers. Provides a very exotic characters, but the very unique of this variety is the coconut aroma. Wow. And you can really experience that in the nose, but also in the tongue, right?
It's very good. I got to get some and experiment with it. I started experimenting with some hop oils, and then I had to combine it with some alcohol, but this you can go straight.
No. Sabro, it's a pellet. Yeah, it's a pellet, right? This incognito, it's an extract. You can just add it in the whirlpool or later on, right? To dry hop. No need to add something else, right?
Wow, awesome.
And the Sabro, it's the new variety. It's a normal pellets, right?
Wow.
Okay.
I got to try some of that. All right, great. Well, thank you for taking the time out. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just bumped into Ottmar Weingarten, who is from the German Hop Growers Association. How are you doing, Ottmar?
Hi, very good, thank you.
How do you like the conference so far?
Oh, it's very busy. We have a lot of contacts here, and on behalf of our growers, German hops are also well known for their quality, sustainability. We grow. Last year we had a poor crop because the very, very warm weather, climate change, and so. But we look forward to a good crop this year, I think.
Right. Some of the hops are coming out of Germany. The Hull Melon, the Mandarina Bavaria.
Yeah. You mean those new flavor hops?
Yeah.
Yeah. At the moment, we also try to get them brewed within the brew house, not only for dry hopping, and the first results are fantastic.
So you have some new strains coming along, like hybrids?
Yeah, but it's too early. It's too early at the moment. We have some breads from Spalt, a follower for Spalt and Tettnang. Now with research numbers, it's too early. But the first results from brewing trials look very good.
And the Hallertau?
Hallertau, what do you mean? The area?
Well, the hop.
The hop, Hallertau.
Yeah.
We only have the Hallertau Mittelfrüh. We have a lot of varieties there.
Right.
But our classical hop varieties like Hallertau Mittelfrüh, but also the new ones, Tradition, for example, Spalt Select, and so are very well known. Meanwhile, here in the US, and I'm a little bit positive about the future for the hops here in the craft industry, I think. If you see like what Firestone Walker is doing in his Pivo Pilsner, or it's in Pale 805, there are German hop varieties in it, and the beer is not unsuccessful.
No, it's very good.
So I'm very happy about this development.
Yeah, it's excellent. No, really good German hops. And then, like I said, I went to the Weirman. I talked to the Weirmans for the malt.
Yes, I think
they
so.
They have excellent malt.
Yeah, also good quality, sustainability. Also in German hops, we have traceability. You can trace back the hops just from your brewing kettle to the farmer's gate.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's excellent. It's becoming very technical. A lot of the grains and the malters can trace that back too.
Yeah.
Like if there's something bad, they go right to the farm.
It's usual for us in Germany. It has to be.
It has to be.
Yeah.
For excellent quality.
For sure, we look for the quality.
Excellent. All right, Ottmar, I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right,
you.
take care.
Nice to meet you.
That was great stuff from a lot of good people in the craft beer industry. A lot of good companies. Got stuff from all over the world, right? We got Germans. We got everybody on there. Americans, and it's just it affects the planet, right? There's people all over the planet that are into craft beer, which is awesome. We had Food Lab, 3M, Cargill, the Burns family, Siemens. We had Barth Haas and Willamette Valley, and then we also had the German Hop Growers Association, just for you, and that's our part 3 in the series. If you like what we're doing, you like the content, please go on to iTunes and give us a rating, give us a review. Share this with a friend. Share this with 10 friends. Why not? Because we're bringing you the best quality that we can. Direct from Denver, right? In the Craft Brewers Conference. If you weren't there, here you go. So that's what I got for you today. We're going to see you on Friday. We're going to continue our journey. Okay, onward.